welcome to this week's Bears Talk Live, hosted once again from the Bears Club Pavilion. Want to give a shout out to J. Brown Realtors, the sponsor of the show, and also want to give a shout out to Blowing Rock Draft House, the normal host of the show over there at the Draft House. Hopefully we'll be back there in a couple weeks in March, so stay tuned for that. Would love to have you guys join us when we do that. Our first guest of the show is Ingrid Smith, Vice President of the Bears Club. For those of you that don't know Ingrid, you guys are missing out. She's actually technically the president de facto since Bob Fincher's our president. So, Ingrid, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about your history with Lenoir-Rhyne. Give the folks that might not know who you are a little bit of your background and how you came to be the Vice President of the Bears Club today.
Well, I'll give you a quick background that how I got to Hickory first and foremost, and then we'll go from there. I came to Hickory as a 17-year-old, didn't know anyone here in this small little town. How I ended up here was to play soccer, did not end up playing soccer, and stayed and never thought I would be here this long. So I've been here since 2001,
Wow.
and now I'm on faculty here, been teaching 15 years.
Holy cow.
And then several years ago, you know, Bob and I talked, and Bob talked me into this position. That's how I am here today. No, I've been on council for years, and really enjoy working with everybody in athletics, and thought, why not make a little move up?
Yeah, we are very lucky to have you. That's for sure, Ingrid. So if you got here in 2001, how are you still only 30 years old? That's good, right?
Plus, that was good.
I'm sucking up a little bit.
A little bit. You need to make up for it from this week.
I know, I do. Most viewers might know this, but tell the folks at home, what is the Bears Club mission? What do we raise money for, and how can folks join the General Bears Club Scholarship Fund?
So you can join the Bears Club at multiple different levels, and we've got this awesome pamphlet you can pick up from the Bears Club. In the office, you can also donate online on our lrbears.com give.
Yep.
So you can get on there. There's different levels, guys, and there's so many different ways you can give back. But our main purpose is for athletic scholarships, is to raise money for these students. And through all our different member levels, you get basketball tickets, depends on what level you join, football tickets.
Yep.
You get to use this awesome pavilion. And the best thing about it is when we are in season for basketball, football, all these other sports, you get to see these students and know where your money's going to for these athletes. So it's a great fundraiser. You get to take part in all kinds of different events like we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Golf and gala and so on and so forth. So if you have any questions about it at all, you can check out the lrbears.com/give or reach out to the Bears Club office. Martha or Aaron will give you all the info you need. You can do it online or through
the brochure.
Exactly.
I couldn't have said it better, Ingrid. You literally said every single thing that is important for people to know when thinking about joining the Bears Club. It's a great cause. It's how and why we have so many great young men and women here at Lenoir-Rhyne that are student athletes. The only other thing is tailgating too. You, depending on what level you join, you get to tailgate out here on this nice practice field that everybody loves. It's very family friendly. Obviously, you've got a couple kids. It's a great place to hang out on game day, isn't it?
Oh yeah, awesome. So like I said, it depends on what level you join, and even you can grab, your cooler, come in with a tailgate chair, and hang out with other people that are higher or different levels also. So
Absolutely.
I did forget about that part.
No, you're good. And this pavilion's the place to be on game day. I mean, it's packed full of Bears Club members. Obviously, pre-COVID, there's free food, free drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. It's just a really, really awesome environment, and it's a great cause nonetheless, like we've said a couple times.
Very family friendly too.
Very family friendly, which is very important for people to know. So with the Bears Club, there's obviously the general membership that we just talked about, but right now in the spring, we've got two events going on that are really important for our annual scholarship fundraising. The first one we're going to talk about is the spring raffle. A lot of you guys might know what that is, but it's a very affordable way to help the Bears Club and support scholarships if you can't maybe necessarily afford to join the Bears Club yet. So, Ingrid, talk a little bit about the spring raffle and how people can support that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge. So we do so well with this. The last couple of years, we've done awesome. We've had the drawing live in person. This year we will not, but we will be right here on April 9th at 7
o'clock,
7 p.m. right here. Bob and I will do a live drawing. Guys, these tickets are $100 a piece. So you can buy it online. You can go to lrbears.com/raffle, and you can buy your ticket online, or you can get with one of us that are selling it in our council, or Aaron, or Martha can help you too. Some of the prizes, I'll just show you guys, for example, here on here. Yeti cooler with tumblers, courtesy of Carolina West, which is a big sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
We've got golf, foursome, several of those packages. We've got gift cards. We've got several different things from Kyle Duggar still.
Oh, yeah.
Designer chair, cafe roll, a weekend getaway in Blowing Rock, and brewery. So there's some awesome different things you can see. You can see it on the ticket, but you can also see it on, once again, our website, lrbears.com/raffle, and they are $100. And remember, this goes towards our athletic scholarships as well. So that's huge, very important. If you're not able to join as a Bears Club member, you can just take part in the raffle.
Awesome. And yeah, that, like she said, it's lrbears.com/raffle. So make sure you go on there and buy a ticket. It really help us out and help out our student athletes, especially in a year like this. And the grand prize actually is a weekend stay at the Cherry Tree Resort. So it's down near a little bit outside of Charlotte, beautiful area. Trent Cherry was kind enough to donate that this year. Really exciting. We've never had it at a prize before in the auction or in the raffle. So we're really excited about that. That grand prize of a weekend stay in Cherry Tree Resort should be really cool. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. I think you'll be really impressed by that. So the other event we've got going on this spring that normally takes place in the fall is the Hanley Painter Bear Memorial Golf Tournament. So Ingrid, talk a little. I know you're more directly involved with the raffle, but talk a little bit about the Hanley Painter Bear Memorial, when that is, and how people can sign up to participate or be a sponsor.
So it is on the same day as the last day of the raffle drawing this year. So it's typically on homecoming weekend. So in case anybody's confused, it's typically homecoming weekend in October, but this year obviously moved to April 9th, which is a Friday, and that's at Catawba Springs.
Yeah, Catawba Springs course, yep.
Catawba Springs, and we have tee times at 8 a.m. and at 1 p.m. So whether, pray it's nice outside, you can get outside with some of your buddies. And for more information about that one, it's also at lrbears.com and /Hanley, Hanley, for that information. You can get a ton of information on there. You can also sign up, call Aaron or Martha also for additional questions. But again, 8 a.m., 1 p.m. And if you're interested in being a sponsor, you can also, for a whole, that would be great also, too. We could use that.
Yeah, that's a great point. If you can't make it in March, if you guys have other plans, you can sign up to be a sponsor like Ingrid said, and that helps us out as well without you guys being here. But with everything that's been going on and the lack of us being able to host a lot of in-person events, this golf tournament's a great, safe way to get together and enjoy some fellowship with some fellow Bears and get out there and play some golf and hopefully shoot low. I know I won't, but hopefully other people do. Ingrid, great stuff. Appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
It's time for our Cars Plus question, and you have to promise to be honest with me. I don't think I let you cheat and see this one beforehand, but have you ever, or would you ever, hitchhike?
No.
No, you're not answering it, or no?
No, I've never hitchhiked.
Okay. I haven't either.
And Lord, I hope I don't have to.
No, yeah, that would probably be a pretty desperate situation at that point.
Hitchhiking with children would not be pretty.
No, that's probably not a smart thing to do.
I hope not.
Well,
knock on wood on that one.
I don't think that everybody that we have on the show is going to say no, so I'm excited to hear the rest of our coaches' answers to that one. But Ingrid, thank you for coming on. We appreciate everything you do for the Bears Club, and all of our Bears Club members and council members are volunteers. So Ingrid's volunteering her time and effort to help better our student athletes' futures here. So Ingrid, we can't thank you enough, and again, go Bears. Yeah, absolutely, go Bears, and thank you all for everyone who's donates and participates and everything they do with their time also. Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll come right back with head men's lacrosse coach Greg Paradine. What does unlimited mean to you? At Carolina West Wireless, it means unlimited media, unlimited fun, and unlimited access to our nationwide high-speed network. Sign up today for an unlimited data plan and pay just $35 per month per line for 4 lines, and we'll include hotspot and big-time savings on a new smartphone. Take $350 off the revolutionary new Samsung Galaxy S20 and get more out of your unlimited. Expect more, get more. Only from Carolina West Wireless. Talk Live presented by J. Brown Realtors. Another shout out to the Blowing Rock Draft House as well, since we can't be there today. We are here with head. Good to be here. Good to be here. Staying warm.
Trying, I had to brave the elements. I had to hook up the dog sled and the chains to get into work.
I know, man. All this snow, right? It's crazy.
I know, devastating ice storm.
Yeah, devastating. Absolutely crazy. I can't believe we're here. We're fortunate to be here. Unfortunately, our assistant athletic director for marketing didn't turn the heat on in the pavilion today, so it's freezing in here as well. Good thing we got this fire, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit of lacrosse, man. We got the season started last weekend. Obviously, you guys were very shorthanded, missing a few people. Still came out with the win against a scrappy North Greenville team, 9-8. Hey, a win's a win, right? What were some of your takeaways from that game, and who are some people that stepped up for us?
Well, I knew it was going to be a game like that. We didn't have a bunch of our senior leadership and offensive leadership, but David Bell stepped up. He had 4 goals, and we had a bunch of freshmen running around out there. So I knew it was going to be a game that could go down to the wire. And then in the fourth quarter, they performed a little bit like freshmen and allowed North Greenville to get back in the game. And North Greenville, pressed us all over, and they had a good game plan. But we were able to get those guys experience and also get the win, which is the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. That's the most important part, right? So you guys, obviously you've built an incredible program in your time here at Lenoir-Rhyne. You guys are, again, preseason top 10 in the country, projected to win the SAC. How do you, because you have to do it year after year, I feel like, how do you personally, and then how do you handle it with the team? How do you handle those expectations?
I think it's been since those first early seasons and those early teams who kind of set the bar, and and that now each class that comes in kind of wants to keep that bar high.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a big part of it, and just making sure our culture is good in the program, and understanding guys working hard all over in the classroom, in the weight room, on the field, and in the community, and just our kids bring in kids that have the same values, and I think that's what helps.
Do you guys pay attention to that stuff as a team, or do you guys really just ignore it in terms of the expectations and being predicted to win the conference and be top 10 and all that good stuff?
No, we I can tell you what we're ranked,
right.
And I don't think those guys
I think it's
are.
8th. I think I know that.
Well, I do know that Limestone's ranked ahead of us. So.
There you go. I like it.
That's all I do know. You kind of use that as a little bit motivation.
Yep.
And that was the coaches poll. But yeah, our guys just got to, not focus on that stuff. That's all meaningless. We didn't accomplish anything last year. That none of our goals got accomplished. And so now we get a fresh start. We got a couple of guys back, and it's we want to accomplish those goals, which is winning the SAC, winning the conference tournament, things we haven't done in a long time. So our guys have those goals and are focused to do that.
Awesome. That's fantastic, and that's a perfect segue, Coach. There's a reason why you guys are predicted to win the conference, and you guys are top 10 in the country, and that's because you do have a lot of studs coming back. You got Eric Dickinson and Miles and Mitch and Torrin, and you could go on and on. How important are those guys for you and your team as leaders, and how good is it going to be to have them back this weekend?
Well, Coach Case said it was about 250 career points that we're getting back this week, so very important.
Very important.
And those guys are just super leaders, and that's you could tell that's what we missed last Saturday. Was just veteran leadership to calm the team down, and that'll be really good to have those guys back because they just know every situation. They know how we want to play, and they're just tremendous players.
Absolutely, and it's good timing because Belmont Abbey is another really strong team. They're highly ranked as well. I believe they're in the top 15. What should we expect in the matchup this weekend between the Bricks?
It's every year we play Belmont Abbey. It's a great game. It's been back and forth the last couple of years. They're top. I don't know, definitely top 15. They lost their opener to Belmont Abbey. To Catawba. So they're going to be hungry.
Yeah, for sure.
And our guys are going to be hungry. We've got a bunch of guys who haven't been able to compete yet this year, and this is going to be their first time competing. So they're going to be really anxious to get back out there and prove, what we built off of last year. They want to prove that that wasn't a fluke, that we're here for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are blessed to have some fans this weekend. We're going to have some parents and some students at Lacrosse and softball starting tomorrow. But there's obviously only a limited capacity. So anybody that can't be here between the bricks to watch this one, it's going to be a good one. That's Saturday afternoon. Make sure you check out lrbears.com to watch that live stream. It should be a fun one, and plus Jamie Dickinson's doing the color, so you never know.
You can't miss that. That's must see TV.
That's much watch stuff, man. If you guys don't know who Jamie is, you'll find out on Saturday by watching the stream. He's great. He's another one of our Bears Club Council members, and really kind of the self-proclaimed team mom for you guys.
Sure, he does a great job.
He does.
Super job.
Absolutely. So after this weekend, it doesn't get any easier. We get into conference play pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Got a Limestone is the next home game after Belmont Abbey, and that's always a great contest as well. Talk a little bit about, I know you guys can't look ahead as a team, but just as a coach, talk about conference play and when you guys are getting into that after this game, and specifically what the kind of conference looks like as a whole this year.
Well, the conference is I think the SAC is the best lacrosse conference in the country. Catawba just beat Belmont Abbey.
Right.
It was number 4 and beating convincingly. So with us, Limestone,
Yep.
Wingate, Catawba, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's we go to Coker next week, and that's always a tough game for us. There really aren't many games that you can go, oh yeah, that's going to be a win in conference.
Right.
So, and that's one of our goals is we want to win the conference every year. We'd love to go undefeated in the conference, but you just got to take it day by day.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the parity level in the conference has gotten a lot tighter in the last few years to where there aren't any games really where you guys can take a night off.
No, nope.
You got to bring it every single night. So we're excited, Coach. I can't wait for Saturday. I know last weekend we got off to a win, and that's what counts, but this weekend should be a lot of fun having everybody back.
Yep.
I'm going to leave you with the same Cars Plus question, and you guys kind of talked a little bit. You and I talked a little bit before the show, so I know what your answer is, so you can't change it now. Would you ever hitchhike?
I grew up in the 80s. We didn't wear helmets when we rode our bikes. We drove in the back of station wagons with no seatbelts. Of course I hitchhiked.
Of course I hitchhiked. Yes, I love it. I love it. Good. We got one yes to the Cars Plus question. I love it, Coach. And thank you for your honesty, man. I appreciate that. We appreciate having you on, Coach. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
All right, we're not going to take a break here. We're going to transition to another legend, and that is Coach Shena Hollar, the head softball coach. Coach, take a seat. Put on the headset. That way you can hear me. But again, during this transition time, I do want to give another shout-out to J. Brown Realtors, and I also want to shout-out Blowing Rock Draft House and Cars Plus Lenoir, the 3 sponsors of this awesome Bears Talk Live show. Coach, you all hooked up? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing? You staying warm?
Yeah, it is warm right here.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better here than it is back there. I'm sure you're glad to be in the seat now. But so how excited are you guys? The season is finally here. COVID, weather, a lot of things have not been cooperating in terms of you guys getting the season off to just a start period, especially after last year got cut short. How excited are you guys and the girls for getting underway tomorrow afternoon?
They're ready. We've practiced for like 2 months and had a 2-week delay in playing, but they're ready to go. They're ramped up.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And we got 5 for tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about them and kind of what you expect from that doubleheader.
They'll be solid. Their coach, he actually coached me in high school.
Oh, wow.
So that's we've known him for like 30 years, so it's crazy.
Jeez, that is crazy.
Big, they're good. They're solid. They're ranked in their level, so it'll be a good starter for us.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like it. So that guy must be old, huh?
No, we were talking about it. He's only like mid-50s.
I love it. That's because you're still young and spry.
Yeah, that's it.
I like it. Hey, so just like Coach P, you guys are predicted first in the conference. You're in the top 15 in the national polls, and you deal with this every year too. I'm always fascinated. How do you personally deal with that stuff? Do you even pay attention to it? And then how do you discuss those things with the team? Because obviously, when you're 18 and 22-year-olds, you can't help but pay attention to some of those expectations.
Yeah, I'm sure that they know we're ranked. We don't talk about it a lot.
Okay.
We talked about being picked 1 and having a big target on our back, but we always say that your jersey says Lenoir-Rhyne, and it's Lenoir-Rhyne softball, so you always have a target on your back. We usually talk, like we go to Young Harrison, not this weekend but next, and we'll say, okay, they're a top 10 team. Let's go beat them.
Okay.
That helps you out.
Okay, awesome. No, I like that perspective. You use it as ammo when you're playing an opponent who's highly ranked, but in terms of intrinsically, we don't really talk about it much.
No.
I like it. So, again, just like men's lacrosse and really every sport now, the SAC is extremely strong in softball, kind of top to bottom. There's a lot of teams that, especially if you look at the preseason poll, that are kind of bunched up there. Who do you guys look at as being some teams this year that look good on paper and are people that you're really excited to get out there and play against in the conference?
I think on paper you can look at Lincoln Memorial again. They went to regionals. They went to super regionals last year. They're up there. Also Carson Newman and a Wingate. Those are who we look to beat or who looks to beat us.
Absolutely. And you guys get started with conference play pretty quickly this year, don't you? Don't you have a few games next week that are conference?
We do. For some reason it's early with the adding teams and added Limestone. So we open up with Coker next week. We go down there and then play the next week.
Is that, as a coach, is that a little challenging? Do you prefer to be in conference that soon, or would you rather have a few more non-conference contests before you have to jump into the SAC play?
I would rather not start conference till March, but with the addition of teams, we started playing conference teams in February because you don't know where your team will be in late February compared to where I know my team will be in April.
And that's a great segue to my next question. Kind of what do you expect to see in the start of the season from your team, and then what do you expect to see improve as the year goes on normally with softball teams?
Just watching us practice and scrimmage right now, we have really good pitching and really good hitting. Our defense will have to hold steady, but just getting some innings under their belts with some of the newer kids. And they say hitting-wise, if you want to hit 350, you need to see at least 150, 200 pitches. So we hope to get that in sooner than later.
Wow, yeah, no, that's interesting, and it makes a lot of sense. So we do, I know you and I are both, I know everyone's excited about it. We've got some amazing talent returning on the softball team, on the mound and at the plate. Talk a little bit about some of your leaders and some of the talent that we have coming back that everyone's really excited about watching.
I think our big leaders are in that senior class with Talon LeClaire and Kylie Linhart and Savannah Moorfield. So those are three big studs for us in our lineup that go 1, 2, 3. And then our their sophomores this year, our 1 and 2 pitchers are back, which was Lauren Rakes and Morgan Beeler, but they're back and ready to go.
They're young too.
They are.
They're young. So we got a bright future and a steady. It's a good. Would you say it's a pretty good balance that you have of youth and experience this year on the team?
I think so, and they were just starting to peak last year when we cut it off in March, but yeah.
I know. Yeah, it was really exciting to watch you guys. Both you and Lacrosse were up on unbelievable starts, and to have that must have been tough, obviously. Who are some people besides the leaders and the people that we have returning, maybe some new faces that you're excited to get out there and see that some people at home will want to pay attention to as the season starts?
I think sophomore Laura Beth Wood.
Okay.
She's a really great defensive first baseman, and her bat was starting to come around.
Okay.
And then we have 2 freshmen that are in our pitching rotation also, which is Peyton and Michaela, and their local kids, North Lincoln and Bunker Hill. So hopefully to see some time on the mound for those 2.
Awesome. Some good local talent. Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow. We're excited to watch you. Can't let you go before asking you the same Cars Plus question. I can't wait to hear your answer, too. Have you ever or would you ever hitchhike?
No, never hitchhiked.
Okay.
Maybe back in the day we might hitchhike, but not these days. You don't hitchhike.
Yeah.
No.
I agree. I have the same answer as you. I don't think I'd ever do it, especially not now. No. That's for sure. Well, Coach, again, thank you for coming on. Good luck tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break here at Bears Talk Live and come back with our final guest of the show, head tennis coach Jesse Tarr.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Back, everybody, to Bears Talk Live for our final guest of the day. Again, the show's presented by J. Brown Realtors and Blowing Rock Draft House. Coach Jesse Tarr, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to be cozy up by the fire with how cold it is in this room. I'm sure you're excited to be up here. You've been waiting the whole time.
I just want to say that Leah did an amazing job with this whole place and has kept us nice and warm.
Yeah, good balance there. Good balance.
Thank you.
Way to put her back in our good graces. So, Coach, undefeated, man. 1-0. We're 1-0 on both sides. How good did it feel for the girls, the guys, and you and Caddy, the coaching staff, to be back out there yesterday and actually competing?
It was really fun. I mean, I think you could see the excitement on the kids' faces, just getting in the van, getting ready to travel. It was, a lot of our players back in Europe have really been locked down where they can't leave their house or do any, things like that. And so, but just in general to play and compete, that's what, along with the education to come here, and that's what their dream was, to come here and do that. And so it was fun to watch, and we played pretty well. So it was good.
Absolutely. So I know it feels good to win. I know it feels good to be back out there playing. From a coaching standpoint, what were some of your takeaways from each side yesterday?
We were rusty, but I think that's going to be kind of the story of the season for a while, because tennis is a game where you can practice all you want, but you have to have the real competition to get your match rhythm back and get the rust off. But I thought we played the big points really well. We were kind of up and down a little bit, but we did what we do well and competed well and were tough, and I think that put us in a position to win, and then we had the big points and we capitalized on that.
Absolutely. That's I agree more. And you guys took the matches relatively comfortably. I mean, obviously there were some points and some different matchups that were a little tight, but you guys looked pretty good. So your roster looks a little bit different this year than you had anticipated. Obviously a lot of people are dealing with that, whether it's here at Lenoir-Rhyne or across the country for different sports. Just for everybody at home to know who might not be able to pay attention as much to tennis, just with it being off campus or, not being live streamed every week, who are some people on both sides, the men and the women, that people at home should know their names and be paying attention to as the season progresses?
Yeah, no, it definitely was a crazy year. We had an opt-out, but we also had a bunch of people not be able to get visas to come over here. So, but even then, I think we have a really good, strong, talented team on both sides. We return almost everybody on both sides. So that's great, and we were off to a good year. I think you look at, on the men's side, I think you look at Rodri Atkinson and Josh Lazenby, who were ranked in doubles last year. Rod was ranked in singles. Josh probably should have been, but he was just on the outside at the top two spots. And we have a new incoming freshman who got here, Nicholas Moser from Austria, who is, we're really delighted he's here, amongst other guys. And then on the women's side, Gemma Southwick was the highest rated player by a tennis metric that will make me sound nerdy and bore everybody, but it's universally used in the tennis world in the conference. And she's kind of taken off. She won at Western Carolina Division I. She won yesterday. And then a bunch of other girls. We have a new player, Alicia Wahlberg from Sweden, who won yesterday. Didn't lose a game in singles or doubles.
Wow.
But we have a fun team. They're fun to watch. They're energetic, and they love representing Lenoir-Rhyne.
Absolutely, a great group of young men and women. Absolutely blown away by their character. You recruit some great ones. So this Sunday we have Lander, correct? What can we expect from that matchup?
It's gonna be a fist fight. They're 6 in the country. They're kind of who we want to be when we grow up.
Yeah.
And we played them pretty competitively last year. We lost 6-1, but it was really tight. But they were just better than us.
Right.
But they're 6 in the country. They know they're 6 in the country. They've earned it, and we're going to have to play well, and we're going to have to be tough, because they are a gritty team. They're tough, and they're willing to play. They're willing to play to prove that they're still 6 in the country and kind of stay where they are. Absolutely.
I'm excited to tune into that one on Sunday. That should be fun. And then right after that, you guys are jumping right into SAC play with some different matchups. I know you've got some exhibitions squeezed in there, but just with other sports here too, conference play is not far down the road. What are your kind of thoughts, feelings, expectations for the top half of the conference and the teams we're going to be competing against?
I think our conference is turning into maybe the best conference in the country. The depth now is incredible. I think it's going to be a fight to get into the conference tournament for a lot of teams. It may have used to been 1 through 5 were kind of always in. Now I think there's, we're pretty deep outside of that top 8. And so with COVID and everything going on with that, I think we're going to have to be ready to compete against everybody. And, we obviously have the Queens and Wingett's who, but for the same fact, there's 9, 10 other teams that if you don't show up, you can lose. And if you lose, you put yourself in a tough spot going forward, because you're going to have to beat some people that might be even better than you or your same level who don't have as much pressure. So I think we're just going to have to show up and play. That's what I tell our players. We're going to do it the right way, and we're going to show up and play, and, we'll let the cards kind of come out as they do.
Yeah, and the conference, you've been involved in coaching in the conference for a while now. I feel like just like other sports, I was just talking about this with Greg on the lacrosse side, but the last few years, what do you attest the conference's overall growth and just skill level too? I feel like all the teams have kind of risen to where right now you can't take a night off. What do you kind of attribute that to maybe?
I think some of the other schools, if you look around the conference, have had some new coaches come in that
Mm-hmm.
that have recruited a little bit higher level of a talent. But I also think as the conference has gotten better at the top, it gives a little more notoriety around the world and around the country to recruits that, man, this is really good tennis. This is basically like Division I level tennis. And, man, these schools are really good academically in pretty cool locations, and they get a lot of support from their administrations in the school. And so it draws more players in.
Mm-hmm.
And as more players start coming, the kind of trains on the tracks and just kind of rolls through.
Absolutely. It's kind of a domino effect at that point, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic, Coach. It's perfect timing today. Wow, this is great. 1 o'clock. Coach, got to ask you the Cars Plus question, too. And I feel like I know your answer, but Cars Plus question, have you ever or would you ever hitchhike, Coach Tarr?
I think I'm supposed to say that if it involved my wife and my child, yes, I would. But if you ask my wife, I think she knows that I'm not that tough. So it probably is. But I'm going to go with, for my wife and my child, I would hitchhike.
You would do whatever it takes to protect them or get them where they need to be.
We will go with that.
I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, I don't think I'm tough enough either. I'm with you on that one. But, hey, I appreciate the honesty. We appreciate Cars Plus Lenoir. And I want to give another shout-out one more time before we sign off here to Blowing Rock Draft House for being the normal host of our show, and J. Brown Realtors for being the presenting sponsor of our show. We will see you guys next week right here, probably in the same spot. We appreciate you guys joining us, and go Bears.